All right, so now that we are able to identify our different angle pairs, we're pretty much going to focus on these three: vertical angles, complementary angles, and supplementary angles, because those are the ones that actually gives us a relationship, like are they equal, are they adding up to 90, or are they adding up to 180? And using that information, we're going to be able to answer questions and find the missing angles. So that's the first step, is you got to identify, well, which kind is it, and does that mean that they're equal, adds up to 90, or adds up to 180? And then you're going to write an equation, and then you're going to solve the equation. So for number one, I'm supposed to solve for angle B. When I look at this picture, how do I know what I'm going to do? Well, I see, like, how do I identify? Well, I see there's that the box in the corner, and I know that means 90 degrees. So that should be telling me, oh, these are complementary. Okay, now complementary, it says right over there, it adds up to 90. So my equation that I should be writing is something plus something equals 90 degrees. Well, the two, like, I got to fill in the blanks. So what am I going to put in these blanks? Well, I'm going to put the two angles that I have. I have one is 50 and one is just B. So that's what I'm solving for. So I have 50 plus B equals 90, and I solve that. Now, how do I solve that equation? Well, I got to move 50 to the other side, so I subtract 50, subtract 50. That goes away, and I get angle B equals, well, what's 90 minus 50 is 40 degrees. So angle B is 40 degrees. Okay, pretty easy. If I look at the second one, number two, solve for angle B, I see angle B is over there. Now, I don't see the box, so it cannot be complementary. I don't see the X, like that happens when there's vertical angles. That's when there's the X. I see that these two angles are making that straight line on the bottom. Now that tells me that they're a linear pair, aka they're supplementary. Oh, so what equation should I write when they're supplementary? Well, I should be writing something plus something else equals 180. And what am I going to fill in these blanks? Well, what are my two angles? I got angle B over here, and I got 130. So I'm going to be filling those in. So B in one of the blanks and 130 in the other blank. How do I solve for B? Because this is the next thing I do is solve it. So I need to move 130 to the other side. So I'm going to minus 130. Minus 130. Okay, great. 130 cancels out. B is left. What's 180 minus 130? 50 degrees. Because it's an angle. We measure angles in degrees. So then that angle is 50. For the last one down here, it says solve for angle B. So I'm looking. Am I seeing the box for complementary? Am I seeing a straight line for supplementary? Or is it an X? Well, I can see that this is an X. Oh, okay. So I can tell these are vertical angles. Vertical. Great. And if they're equal, okay, then that means something equals something else. What are the two blanks this time? Well, one of them is B and one of them is 30. So B equals 30. I don't need to solve that equation. That is the answer. If they're equal, then they should be the same. So yay, that one's done already. So when it's just numbers and not like a whole lot of like X's and stuff, it's pretty easy. But let's look at some with X's. Okay, so it's still the same steps. Identify, write the equation, solve the equation. In number 4, it says find the measure of angle DBE. So I'm going to highlight that on my picture. DBE is that angle right there, and that's what I want to figure out. Now to figure that out, I have to solve for X. So I still have to do everything that I just did. So I got to pick. Looking at this picture, are they vertical, complementary, or supplementary? Well, I see the X happening, so that tells me vertical. Okay, great. And if they're vertical, that means that they are equal. So I'm doing blank equals blank. What are my two blanks? Well, I have 5p plus 28. And I have 12p. Those are my two angles this time, and I know they're supposed to be equal, so that's the equation I write. Now, when I solve this one, usually we want to move the letter to the left side, but since there's only a 12p on the right over here, I don't want to move that, because if I move that, then there's nothing left over there. So I'm going to move the 5 instead this time. And how do I move that? Well, I'm going to subtract 5p. Subtract 5p. That's gone. 28 is here. 12 minus 5 is 7p. And then I just have number and letter. Great. So divide. Divide by 7. Divide by 7. I get p equals 4. Is that what the question wanted? No. Look back at what it said. It said find the measure of angle DBE. So I'm going to plug this in to DBE, which was right there. So I'm doing 12 parentheses 4. If you type that in, you get 48 degrees. And this is the answer. Okay. Let's see another example. Number 5. Find the measure of angle DZQ. So DZQ is that one right there. So that's going to be the 9x plus 5. So again, I am going to have to solve for x. So first I got to figure out, well, what kind of angles are these? Well, a big clue. I look in the corner, I see the box. I know the box means 90 degrees. So that should take me right away to, oh, they're complementary when I see that box. Complementary. So what equation should I be writing? Blank plus blank equals 90. Okay, well, what am I going to fill in to my blanks? Well, the two angles that they gave me. So 9x plus 5 was one of them. And my other one was 3x plus 1. So I'm about to solve this. Here we go. So I got to combine like terms. So I'm checking. I'm going to add 9x and positive 3x. 9x plus 3x is 12x. And then I got to add my regular numbers. Plus 5 and plus 1, which is plus 6. The 90 is just a 90. Nothing changed. All right, next step, I got to move my 6. So how do I do that, plus or minus? Well, I'm going to minus. I got to do the opposite to move it to the other side. 6's go away. 12 is left. 90 minus 6 is 84. And then last step, divide by 12. Divide by 12. And I get x, not y. Oof, see, that's what happens when you don't write good. 84 divided by 12 is 7. Is 7 my answer? No, not my answer. What did it want at the beginning? It wanted DZQ, which I highlighted in the picture. That's why I highlighted it. So I got to plug in 7 in for x. So I'm doing 9 parentheses 7 plus 5. You can type that in Desmos all at the same time, or you can type it separately in your calculator. So 9 times 7 is 63 plus 5 is 68 degrees. Final answer. We'll like super circle that so we know. All right, last example. Number 6, finding the measure of angle CMT. So I'm going to highlight CMT. So after I write my equation and solve, I need to plug it back in for that angle right there. So when I look at this, I'm looking vertical angles. It would be in picture of an X. Complementary is when there's the box in the corner. I guess I can draw a whole box. And supplementary is when it's a straight line on the bottom. Which kind do I have? Well, I don't see an X. I don't see a box. I do see that straight line on the bottom. CMS, that's a straight line. So I know that these are supplementary. So I should be doing blank plus blank equals 180. Because that's what supplementary means. What am I plugging in? Well, I got my two angles right there. 12x plus 17 and 33 minus 2x. So 12x plus 17 and then 33 minus 2x. So again, going through the steps, I got to combine like terms. So 12 plus negative 2, if I do that carefully, 12 plus negative 2 is 10x. And then I'm combining 17 and 33, which I believe is 50, but let me double check. 17 plus 33 is 50, so plus 50 equals 180. Draw the line. Next step, I'm moving 50 to the other side, so minus 50. Minus 50. 50 cancels out. 10x is here. 180 minus 50 is 130. And then divide by 10, divide by 10, and you get x equals 13. Is that my final answer? No, 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 it is not. I need to plug this in. What did it want? CMT. So plug it in to the one we highlighted right there. So I'm doing 12 parentheses 13 plus 17. Here we go. 12 times 13 is 156 plus 17 is 173 degrees. Final answer. Okay. If you need to watch different parts again, or you can send your teacher a message in the chat like, I don't understand what's going on. Otherwise, you are starting the practice.